So what we have here is NF 9021 near McClellan Butte. This is Mine Creek. Pretty easy ride. It's just a rock road. Not particularly difficult for a dual sport. And here is the bike, Yamaha XT225. So I rode it from North Seattle down I-5 to I-90. Took I-90 38 miles to exit 38 and came up here. So this is a 225cc 4-stroke. I am 6'3", 250 pounds. And while I won't say it was the most comfortable ride of my life, this did take me all the way from Seattle out here, and that is approximately 60 miles. Most of it interstate thus far. For someone of my size, I find the off-road performance perfectly fine. Low-end power's fine. I mean, I'm not doing single track or trails or anything like that. I'm just using logging roads. You know, if you're a heavy dude like me and you're going to be doing like hardcore dirt biking, this might not be the bike for you. Or if you did want to use it for that, you'd probably have to get stiffer suspension and probably lower the gears a little. But I find it to be adequate for my use. On the freeway, it's totally happy at freeway speed. Haven't had any problems with that. Yeah, it's a 6-speed, so you know, hauls me on the freeway just fine. Not super comfortable, but just fine. And this particular bike is pretty much completely stock. I think the only things we've changed have been the grips, which, woohoo, boy, that's serious custom modification there. Got to have some fabrication skills for that. And my dad drilled out the muffler, you know, put the spark arrestor back in and then drilled out the muffler. And I pulled the snorkel out of the air box to try and get a little more incoming air. We haven't rejetted it, so you know, it's probably not really making any difference at all. I'm going to put the snorkel back in just because it's so loud without the snorkel in. And I just don't need this thing to be like super horsepowery. So, you know, I'm fine with the performance stock, and I really just ride it as a commuter in town and then, you know, bring it out places like this. You know, to go further than an hour or two from the city, I would highly recommend to get a different seat or repad it so that it's more comfortable, or just, you know, tow it or trailer it or whatever. But I wouldn't hesitate to ride it a couple hours if it had a different seat on it. But with that seat, I got to pretty much stop every 50 minutes to 60 minutes to give my ass a break. So yeah, I'll start it up. It is a little louder than it would be factory, just because my dad drilled the pipe out. So yeah, fires right up, runs great. Really reliable little bike. They're a 2-valve cylinder head, they're carbureted, air-cooled. So this is pretty old school. There's nothing new tech about it. It's super low tech, and it's a really hot selling bike in Japan because of that. It's got a sterling reputation for awesome durability and reliability, but it also has a reputation for not being particularly powerful for a bike of its size. Of course, Yamaha doesn't make this particular motorcycle anymore. They make the XT250, and the 250 is fuel injected. I don't know if it's water cooled or air cooled. I think it's probably water cooled. I would imagine it probably makes a noticeable amount more power than this. You know, water cooled bikes always make more power, but typically speaking, air cooled bikes are more durable and longer lasting. provided they've been taken care of, you know, and they have regular, frequent oil changes. Oil changes on this are 1 quart, and the oil filter is just a stainless steel mesh screen that you have to clean out. So it's pretty basic. You know, you could probably put a magnet in the drain plug and do a couple other things to try and prolong engine life, but you know, it's pretty basic, and I like it that way. And I really think that's a hot selling point for this particular bike. Yeah, so it's, you know, good bike. You ever get the opportunity to get a used one, they're not very expensive. They're pretty common. There's all kinds of parts available for them. Probably not in terms of engine performance. You can get some parts for engine performance stuff, but, you know, again, if you're looking for a lot of engine performance, this is probably not the bike to get. If you're looking for a really reliable, fuel efficient, you know, dual sport, I can't recommend this enough, especially for people who are shorter and lighter than me. You know, on the freeway, I'm so tall and wide that I act like a sail. And if this thing can handle me at freeway speeds for relatively long periods of time, then it'll probably handle you too, because I assume most people are probably smaller than I am. So if you're, you know, for women, this is a great bike. For smaller statured men, this is a great bike. I mean, even for big guys, this is a great bike, just so long as you use it appropriately. So anyway, that's the XT225. Nothing particularly shocking about it. It's just a good solid bike that's cheap to own, cheap to buy, cheap to maintain, and it'll get you where you need to go.